All right, what up? We're back. A little bit of a break, and gonna kind of get back into it and do. Basically, this will be a little different, but basically just a continuation of the thank you series. This one geared towards like independent hip hop producers that I've come across. I have a bit of a different idea of what I want to do with some of the music and things like that. I mean, part of it, just the same old saying thanks to people who have contributed, things that have made my life better. And music is big. Music is important to me. But I think at some point I want to kind of get like some playlists and stuff like that going, similar to, what I wanted to do with the YouTubers, which I have finally. I've got a couple like Twitch subscriptions and stuff like that underway already, which feels good to, finally be chipping a little bit of money to people. At some point, I'd love to, actually purchase some of these guys' tracks and possibly do something with them, possibly use them just for YouTube videos, but I love to write too. So I'd love to do something else with that, but that's, down the line. So this is going to be kind of, just really a continuation of that series. I don't know, I was having difficulties with the thank YouTubers for a sort of a second there, because I thought that all of the previously I thought that it was just the likes list that caps out at 5,000, and that the likes were still retained, but they were just disappeared into the ether of YouTube, and it was just the actual physical 5,000 long list that was kept. And so for a minute I realized it was just my phone, but for a minute I thought that after 5,000 it didn't matter, like the videos that you had previously liked past that 5,000 point would unlike themselves automatically. I don't know what I'm doing here. So for a couple days I was like, oh shit, dude, like, what am I gonna do now? If they're actually just disappearing after 5,000, then it would just become basically like a highlight list of roughly 5 channels at a time. As it turns out, that was just a thing with my phone. I don't know why it would unlike the videos on my phone, because I went on on the computer to look back at like Maddie and Total Biscuit and a couple of the first channels that I did. And those ones, all of those oldest videos were still liked, even though it wasn't reflected in my phone when I would go on there. So I don't really know what the deal is with that. I'm going to keep kind of checking back on it as time goes. Yeah, I just don't want to be like, oh yeah, I've been, supporting these people and liking all these videos, and then it's not actually true. So I'm going to keep looking into that as time goes on. But for these ones, I think I'm going to start utilizing my favorites playlist and just start creating like a compiled list of all of my favorite hip-hop instrumentals. And then, I don't know, you can probably hear that, but that's somebody showering like upstairs or something. Anyways, fucking apartments, man. Yeah, gonna compile just sort of like using the favorites list of, as it is designed for, a list of all of my favorite hip-hop tracks. Instrumental hip-hop tracks, and then start actually creating sort of categorized playlists of different sort of chill downer instrumentals, and then like kind of more upbeat positive ones, or like hard whatever, all the various descriptions. There's a million and one different descriptions you can search up for hip-hop instrumentals, and especially like lo-fi, like just like real chilled out stuff. I mean, I come home every day from work, and that's what I do when I get home. I sit and just like throw in the buds and put on some lo-fi, just like easy chill beats, and I love that stuff, man. So and there's lots of other playlists out there. There's lots of people that are compiling lists of various things like that, but I like doing it, and I also have wanted to start doing it for my work. At some point, I'm going to create a Spotify list, or multiple Spotify lists, I think, because that's how my work plays music. So I've been meaning to do that for ages, and I'm just finally going to start getting around to it. So for the time being, I am just going to start. I'm not going to do these ones thank you musicians, I'm going to call it. I like that. It's stupid, but I think it's clever. I'm going to start with just like my favorites, my current favorite channels that I like to frequent because I just want to start making the jump to, being able to use this as my main channel. Because as it stands, I've just been like going back and forth to watch my other subscriptions that I haven't brought over here yet. All of my music that I listen to on YouTube is still over there. All of that kind of stuff. So yeah, slowly just making the transition to be able to use this full time. Which I could, but I think for like sort of organizational purposes and just making sure that I do it methodically, actually, achieve what I'm looking to achieve. I'm just doing it one at a time, nice and slow. So yeah, that's how that's going to go. So first up is going to be an artist named Syndrome. And this dude, man, as it goes with any of the other videos like this, if you ever see this, thanks, dude. You do some wicked beats, like just so good, across a wide variety of kind of like, I don't know, sub-genres of the hip-hop instrumental, if that's what you would call it. I don't really know. I'm not like a musically inclined individual necessarily. Yeah, so forgive me for not necessarily knowing all of the right terminology. But yeah, dude, or dudette, I don't know. You might be a girl. You might be like a 50-year-old guy named Chuck in his basement. You might be a 13-year-old little girl or a granny or whatever. I have no idea. Whoever you are, thank you. Constantly, week in, week out, there's always something that I'm like, yo, this is legit. This is so good. Fire, as they say. This is fire. Lit. Fucking lit. Yeah. Keep doing it. Keep it up. I am eventually going to throw some money your way in terms of just buying like MP3s at some point just to have and help support. Also, possibly at some point, if I ever find the goddamn time in between work and life and all this other stuff, pick up some tracks and maybe do something with them. Maybe not. I don't know if I can ever, get the balls up to do that shit. So yeah, thank you, Syndrome. Keep it up. Whoever you are, wherever you are, it might say on your channel. I've probably looked at some point or another. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you do, as do many other people. Music, whether it's just, at this point, lots of just hip-hop beats that I like to just sit and write to or just vibe out to. Or obviously different musicians, bands, hip-hop artists, all that kind of stuff. It's important. God knows where I would be if there was no such thing as music. Who knows? Not in a good place, that's for sure. So yeah, this is going to be sort of how this all starts, and it's just like this set of this sort of half of the thank yous. It's going to be a little less labor intensive than doing the thank YouTubers. So I'm going to sort of break off of that for a couple weeks. It's not difficult work, obviously, just to sit and like videos, but it's certainly time consuming, between the time it takes to like the roughly 1,000 videos and just, whip up the video, do the quick editing and all that kind of thing. It's, the better part of like the work shift that I don't work each week, because I only work 4 days a week, which is great. And I knew what I was signing up for, obviously, when I started doing this, and I'm committed to finishing it. But it definitely takes some time, for sure. And there's all sorts of stuff that I've got on the go, or that I want to get on the go as well. So, trying to save time where you can, make it easier on yourself here and there, and all of those kinds of things, right? So yeah, that's just where I'm gonna leave off. So as always, to you, my friends, and the wide world beyond, all my love from the beautiful, finally wintry west coast of BC. Peace.